So Nanowrimo has begun. And wow, there's streams everywhere. Writing streams, writing streams, writing streams. So let's start with numbers, because that's what everyone wants to see. Okay, so far I am doing good. You can see I made a calendar here finally. I almost forgot to make it. Now, I would have put zombies in this image because, you know, there are undead things. I wouldn't really call them zombies. But, there are undead creatures that, like, line the road. It makes sense in the story. But it's really hard to put zombies in an image and it not look very hokey. So it's just the forest. But I made my calendar and I'm going to put my little number counts in there, word counts in there. And, I'm doing good. I am doing good. I'm staying above the line. Now, my strategy this year is a little different because life is a little different. Last Nano, we were more in quarantine and now we're more in work mode. So, don't have as much time to write anymore. I have Mondays off, so the first day of Nano, I had a free day. I was like, family, don't bother me. I'm writing. And, I wrote okay. I mean, I slept until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because it's my day off anyway. But I did like 3,300 day 1. Now, you could see that I had 2802 written here on the calendar because I'm marking my word counts at midnight. So that was my word count at midnight, and then I wrote a couple hundred more words. So with that momentum, I've managed to do this so far. It's, I hit the word count that I need before I go to bed that morning. And you can see that I ended at 53:25 at midnight on the 3rd. So I only had to write like a couple more hundred. How many words I have to write? 1,300 more words after midnight, which I did. My real number that I ended at was 6,928 words, which is what I'm standing at right now before I started writing today. I'm gonna try and keep this up because honestly, it is 8 o'clock at night right now, and I have just managed to sit down and start filming. I haven't even eaten my dinner yet. It's sitting right here. I have not touched it. So this wouldn't really work if I had like a normal work schedule. This works because I start work at like noon, so I could stay up to like 4 o'clock in the morning writing. Of course, that does mean that I get home later, so I don't know, maybe it would have balanced itself out if I had 9 to 5 instead of like 12 to 7. Maybe, but this is how it's working for me. Another thing that's been really helping with the word counts is Game of Tomes. It's happening on Twitch. It's a whole bunch of Twitch writers who got together and like, I guess, did a Game of Thrones thing. I've never seen Game of Thrones. Sorry, I've never watched it, but they're doing like a houses. They each have a house, and then we could all choose which house we belong to, and then during Game of Tome streams, we report our word counts to the specific house. It's tallied, and it's kind of like a little competition. We kind of get shuffled around from stream to stream, which Twitch is really good with. There's one, I have not gone on any YouTube writing sprints for a really long time because Twitch is so much better for this, especially with the rating function. Because like when you're done with your sprints, you could just send everyone to someone else's sprints, and it's working really well with the Game of Tomes thing. I'll link all those details below. It's kind of cute. It's keeping me accountable so far. If you personally are not doing well on your word counts, don't worry. Honestly, don't worry. If someone's giving you crap for not finishing Nano properly, cut them out of your life, please. Do it right now. Just do it. Okay? Unless you have specifically instructed them to give you crap as a way to like cheer yourself on, cut them out of your life. I know some people do like a reverse Nano, and I'm not sure how does that work again. I think you write a lower word count in the beginning and then you ramp it up, I think, or is it the other way? Watch, I got that completely backwards. I did. I just looked it up. I got it completely backwards. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I could not do that. I do have to ramp up the word counts a little bit because Thanksgiving and that weekend I'm not doing any writing. Like I'll put a word in or two, a couple hundred maybe, just to keep like the daily word counter going because I want that badge. But I'm not gonna do much writing, so I gotta get a lot of writing done on the 24th, before the 24th actually, because it's Thanksgiving and then my birthday is that Saturday, so it's like boom boom boom. Nothing's happening then. But anyway, that's my writing word count update. I am staying above the line. Now as for the writing itself, I am definitely out of my comfort zone. It's like I am way too ace to be writing about how pretty this woman is. And that is actually harder than I thought it was going to be. Like I knew I was going to have some difficulty with doing all the lovey-dovey crap, but yeah, it's more than I was expecting. Although I think I'm doing a good job of making my main character into this kind of friendly, outgoing kind of person without her turning into like you know, that kind of person. So optimistic, very optimistic. Although last night, oh my god, every time I write like a story, I have a problem with skipping past like the everyday life section. You know, the setting, the normalcy. What is it called? What is it really actually called? Status quo. I have a problem with jumping past the status quo, okay? And jumping right into what's going wrong. And I told myself I wasn't gonna do that this story, and I plotted for there to be nice, normal size status quo section, and wow, my brain is not liking it. The words were not coming. I was like getting 80 words for like a 25-minute sprint. It had to default to my normal scatterbrained kind of writing, which I also told myself I wasn't gonna do. But what I do a lot is like a sentence will come to me that's not where I'm writing, and I'll skip to that section, I'll put it down, and then try and go back to the section that I was writing, and then another one will come to me, and I'm like, bop, 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 bop. So I end up with all these different floating sections, and then I sit there for like an hour, 2-3 hours, trying to connect them all together, like connect all these dots that I made, like a Beautiful Mind style, you know? And I told myself I was not gonna do that this time. When you do floating chunks like that aren't connected to something else, like it's just a thought that came into your head, like, oh, they should say this, oh, this specific thing should happen. When you do it like that, sometimes they don't fit, you know? It was a good image, but it doesn't fit in the scene completed. And then I gotta delete it. But before I delete it, I gotta fight with myself about deleting it and have to actually convince myself that there's no way it's gonna fit in here before I can get rid of it. So that is why I try not to do it, but I think that's just how I roll. So I'm just gonna keep on doing that. I got through 3 scenes not doing that, resisting the urge, and then brick wall. So what's really been interesting this Nano is up until like the last week of Preptober, I was working on my old story, which I've been working on for way too long, and I've been working on a fanfic that's like a really super long fanfic, and the old story is in first person past, the fanfic is in third person present, and this story I'm writing right now is in a third person past. I caught myself so many times saying me and using present tense. This is gonna be a journey editing. I know it because I know I'm missing them. Otherwise, I'm like really optimistic about this. I'm actually finding really good ways to like introduce the magic system naturally, but then there's always the challenge of explaining it through the main character, but the main character wouldn't really notice it. So I think I'm working it in very nicely. And it wasn't like an info dump, it was just encountered. So I'm proud of that. Anyway, we'll see next week if I keep up this pace. It's very easy for me to fall off a bandwagon. Have a good day. Get all your goals. I'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, I could see the orange is poking through just a little bit. So I might have to re-dye my hair. Yep, just a little. I think that'll be fine for like another week or two. Anyway, why am I even talking about that?